We did a bar show in Dallas. I don't know if you guys have ever been there. It is a very small, rural, rednecky kind of town. You know, like there's 8 people that live there, and like 4 of them were at the bar. And it was a Monday night, and they were there for like fucking karaoke, right? Was the usual thing, and this was like a special comedy thing that nobody asked for. So half the town is sitting in this bar in a terrible mood, and we have to go up. This lineup of like tall, like boring white males have to go up in front of this crowd and make everybody laugh. And we're all just like dreading going up there. But then we're all out back smoking in the parking lot, and we get approached by this spirit of the bar. He's like wearing a cowboy hat and boots, and he's got this thick mustache, and he goes, "You boys want to hear about a game called Smiles?"
No.
And being all comedians, we were all like, "Yes, we do!" And he said, "At this very bar, we used to play a game called Smiles, where all the fellas would sit at a table with a big tablecloth, and a woman would take turns sucking all the fellas off underneath, and whoever blows first loses." And we all said, "Why was it called Smiles?" And he said, "Because that girl only had one tooth." Please give it up for your next comic coming to the stage, Mr. Niko Nikea.
Yeah, Kenny. Clap for Kenny, guys. Fuck yeah, dude. Honestly, hosting is hard. Who here? Okay, we got a bunch of comedians here. Have you ever red hat? Never? Have you? Short shorts? Oh, you answered to that. I was actually talking to red shirt, short shorts. Your shorts are almost as short as hers. Have you ever done it before? That was fucking hard. So clap for everybody that went up right now, guys. This shit sucks. I just got back from vacation. I went to Maui and I went to Georgia. Thank you for cheering for this. Thank you. Why are you questioning what I just said?
Why would you go to Georgia?
I'll tell you. Just wait. So I went to Maui first. I realized that Maui is my favorite form of pigeon. Are you guys from here? Do you know what pigeon is?
Yeah, I know pigeon.
Okay, cool.
Is it different notes?
There's different, like, dialects of pigeon.
Different dialects of pigeon on a walk.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, Big Island too. Fuck yeah. All of the islands have different pigeon. But the reason why I love Maui's pigeon is because it's like the sweetest way to be demeaning as fuck. Hawaiians know how to be demeaning without like making you feel, or like Maui Hawaiians, they know, okay? Okay, my last, I was there for a week. This bitch was drunk as fuck the whole time. Woo! Okay, and the last day, I was supposed to vacuum my mom's car out. I got drunk, fell asleep, woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 hours before my plane. And I was like, fuck, I'm supposed to vacuum my mom's car. So I have to. So I woke up at 3 and I was like, shit, I gotta go right fucking now. So I drove to the gas station at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if you guys can see this right here, the star. It was like a fat fucking mole that was a nipple. And I like just got it cut off. So I had a wrap right around my veins, right around my hand. Didn't have a t-shirt off when I was vacuuming the car out. So I looked like a fucking clock. I was like scratching because it was like on there for a week. I was like, right? So I'm like vacuuming the car out chronically at 3 o'clock in the morning at a gas station that nobody's at, right? Took everything out of the car, had music blasting, put my face into the trunk of the car, and that's when I saw blue lights and a cop pull up right behind me. And this is why I say that I love Maui pigeon, okay? Because this cop pulled up slowly, pulled up right behind me, and this is what he said to me. He's like, "Bro, this is one strange time for you for me vacuuming this car. It's 3 in the morning, you're scratching your heart, eh, you fucker? Now get tons of products right here. Fucking dummy. Where you going? I'll go back to Oahu. You stupid! Fucker! Brother, it's 3 in the morning! Get off flight at 6, eh? Takes 3 hours to get to the gate. So that's a Maui Hawaiian for you. Have you guys been to Maui before? No, well now you know. Now you know. Stop. It's more Eva Beach. It's more in that region. I also went to Georgia. Have you been to Georgia before? Yeah? Thank you. Okay. How rude were people that worked there to you? Rude as fuck, right? Dude, I found out like immediately when I flew into Georgia, I found out within like 5 minutes that everybody over there that's working is a fucking dick. All of them. I don't care. Short shorts, don't judge me.
Busiest airport in the nation.
But yeah, so I landed and I went to go try and find my bags, my baggage claim. I was like walking towards it. I couldn't find the baggage claim. And it was not that far from me. It was literally like 20 people passed me. But I couldn't see it. So I asked like a lady that was working, like, where is the baggage claim? And this is what she said to me. Why don't you go ask United? Because that was my flight. So within 5 minutes, I knew that everybody was going to be a dick to me. She also told me, too, you don't have to wear masks over in Georgia. Did you guys know that? Yeah? You did? Okay. I didn't. So I had it on, and then she was like, you also don't know to wear your mask, you dumbass. And then I went and go found United. Cool. Cool story. Alright. Kenny hasn't given me a light yet, so now I'm going to talk about my cat. Everybody got cats?
You should get another one.
No! Stanky leg is enough. So we got cat people in here. Can I get like a raise a hand or like a cheer? Who's a dog person? Fuck you, short shorts. Put your hand down. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck dogs. I don't like dogs. Anyway, what was my cat joke? Fuck. Her name is Bella Eileen Stanky Leg.
Stanky leg, okay.
But it's because she has 2 little fucked up legs. So her name is Bella Eileen Stanky Leg. Cheers, guys. So there was a couple cat people, right? You guys are all fucking weirdos.
Yep.
All of you cat people are fucking weirdos, okay? Seriously, listen to me. I have 2 things I'm gonna say and then I'm gonna go. Okay? First thing, cat people, I swear to God, they try to like convince you that this thing you're about to do to your cat is okay. I had a friend once, who's a cat person, who told me in more words than what I'm about to say, but he told me that you're supposed to finger your cat.
What?
His butthole so you can stimulate his doo-doo gland. Exactly, bro. When he told me that, I was like, fuck you! You son of a bitch. You're just trying to get me to stick my finger in my cat's asshole. And then you're gonna tell a joke about it later. Is that funny to you, Nisha? Hashtag me out too. But okay, no. It's a thing though. If you have an animal, cats and dogs have doo-doo glands. So you are supposed to stick your finger in there and finger their butthole. Those aren't the words you use in a scientific method though. You don't say I'm gonna finger my cat's butthole. You say I'm gonna stimulate my cat's anal gland. Which is terrible, because I've never heard it like that. I've only heard it as, Niko, you're supposed to finger your cat's butt. Scarred. I've never once fingered my cat's butthole. Thank you guys. One more thing. Sammy just told me recently that if you're a cat owner, when they're little, you're supposed to spit in their mouth. Nisha, have you ever spit in your cat's mouth? No! That's because you're a normal human being, okay? You're not weird, and you don't finger your cat's butthole, and you also don't spit in the cat's mouth. Thank you guys, that's my time. You got cats.
Niko and Ikea delivering a hot 10 at King's Pizza, baby. Crushing it. We love to see it. Okay, guys. We're still going strong. You're coming into Murderer's Row. Please give it up for Henry Payne.
What's up, guys? Yeah, stand-up comedy. Hell yeah. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Henry, as mentioned. I'm really happy to be doing stand-up again. I took a break. I didn't do stand-up for most of 2020, took part of 2021 off because of the whole jail time thing. But I'm back. I'm really excited to be doing it again. Something weird, though, is that for the first time, I'm worried about heckling because I'm 15, if you didn't know. And I had this growth spurt over the break I took, and so now I look way older. And before, if you heckled me, you were kind of just bullying a child in public. And listen, I don't know about you, but I feel like if I surveyed this room and you all had to choose between bullying a child in private or public, quite frankly, I don't think public would be anyone's first choice. Yeah, so now I feel like I'm fair game to be heckled. You know, and I'm really worried about it. So what I thought I'd do is I thought I would sharpen my skills. And right now, right here, right now, I'm going to be responding to a heckler live. And that way, you know, I'll come up with a witty comeback off the top of my head. And that way, you know, I'll prove that I can still kind of do this even though I'm just a kid. So, yeah, can I get like a you suck maybe? No, you suck! Quick confession time, guys. As hard as it was to tell, I did actually plan the entirety of that bit. But I think I can do it without. Planning, so thank you. Not participation time yet, but I appreciate it. I do really want to try doing it without any prep work, so this time give me like any insult and I'll actually try and come up with a witty response to it. Yeah, any insult.
Who do you play, Minecraft?
What are you playing, Minecraft? Thank you. So good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm 15. It's weird in comedy being 15, because I realized there's something missing from my comedy recently, and that's 80s comedy. You know, I wasn't really around for all these 80s comedians or all these 80s shows, and so I can't really connect with my audience a lot of the time. So what I did was I went back and I watched all these old sitcoms. I watched Seinfeld, I watched Family Matters, and I tried to emulate that kind of style of comedy through my stand-up. So this is going to be my sort of impression of the very opening to an 80s sitcom. Featuring the acting talents of a white guy in his mid-20s. Another white guy in his mid-20s. A white guy in his mid-30s. He dropped off the face of the earth as soon as the show ended. He could be dead. A white actress in her mid-30s. A Jew. It's generic 80s sitcom. I love waking up early in the morning. You know, fresh coffee, hot steaming breakfast, and best of all, no one's around to bother me. Oh, good morning, white actor. Good morning, Jew. What are you doing up this early? It's usually so quiet at this hour. Oh, is it usually quiet? I wouldn't know, 'cause you're here. So, did you hear the news about Congress? News about Congress? This ought to be boring. Apparently, Congress had to overturn President Reagan's veto on the anti-apartheid bill. That's right, our democratically elected president was trying to veto a bill that would liberate millions of oppressed people from African apartheid. Listen, Jew, you might call that the news, but I call it a snooze. So what do you have for breakfast? Oh, I just have some waffles. You know what I'd love at this hour? A steaming bowl of human brains. I mean, a steaming bowl of eggs? Human brains? Wait a minute. You're not Jew. You're an imposter. Another alien fuck dead. Only 900 more to go. Generic 80s sitcom presents white actor versus the 906 aliens. That's usually how it goes, to my knowledge. Can you guys read this, by the way? It's a sign. It says "Genius at Work," and I like having it up with me because my grandma gave it to me. I think it's really funny because what kind of guy does stand up with a sign that says "Genius" on it? A genius, exactly. And it's great. You can tell your friends, you know, like, I saw a genius do stand up. It was awesome. Like, we could all totally tell he got the exact right amount of attention as a child. Yeah, honestly, given that last bit, I really don't think I deserve it. Shit was stupid. Sorry, Grandma. She's not dead. She lives in Canada. Yeah. Brief side note, guys. This is weird. Sorry, I'll get back to it. But something insane has been happening with my phone. Like, I don't know if I watched a documentary and then blacked out or something. But for some reason, for like the past week, my phone has been obsessed with the Cold War. like I'll go on Amazon and I'll look for products and it'll recommend me Cold War books, or like I'll search up I'll search up a article on Google and there'll be Cold War articles, or YouTube will recommend me Cold War videos. And I was like, you know, this is actually insane. I should really turn this into a stand-up bit. I just gotta think of a way to make it funny. Didn't quite get there, but I'll work on it. I bet you all thought that was leading up to a joke, but it was actually just a thing that happened to me. Yeah, I was reviewing 80s comedy. One thing I really enjoyed was observational humor, so I kind of came up with my own joke in the style of observational humor. This is a joke about car commercials. As far as I'm concerned, there are 3 types of car commercials. Okay, the first, I see your light. You know what? I have my own light. Motherfucker. Yeah, who's got the power now? Sorry. 3 types of car commercials. 3 types of car commercials. The first one is like targeted at 45-year-old divorcees, and they're like, and it's like panning shots of cars driving in deserts, and it's like, sometimes you just have to be a man with your machine. Who needs custody of your children? And then the second type of car commercial is like a family car. So it's like, Mommy, I love how this car has Wi-Fi in it. And then the mom's like, me too, ethnically ambiguous child. And then the third type is my favorite, okay? This kind of car commercial, it always starts the same way. Real people, not actors. Love this type of commercial. Because from what I gather, they round up the world's biggest idiots and put them in a warehouse with like a Kia Soul. They're all like, holy shit. This is the coolest car. Is anyone else sexually attracted to this car right now? This is crazy. This is the coolest, and it's like a Kia Soul. Like, oh my god, they're dazzled by the most mundane things. Like literally, I swear to God, I saw one guy be like, oh my god, this thing has doors? No way. I'm Henry Payne. Thank you guys.
Great job, Henry Payne. Give it up for him again. Where can they see you next, bud? What do you got on the line? You're headlining Tuesday. Did you mention that, sir?
I didn't, sorry.
Headlining Tuesday at the Beach House. If you want to see this talented young man do 30 minutes of comedy, you can see that at the Beach House at Aloha Tower. Excellent job again, bro. We are rolling right along. We are almost at the end of the list. We got 2 more fantastic comics coming to the stage, so please keep it warm and welcome for Hanna Lum.
How's it going tonight? Give it up for Henry, young Dan Aykroyd over here. He's never seen Ghostbusters, he didn't get the reference. Hi. I'm gonna try some interesting material because we're at King's, and what else are we doing here except experimenting with a bunch of random. This is the watering hole for local comedians, if anyone didn't know. And apparently everybody doesn't actually listen to anything that's going on stage, so you can say whatever the fuck you want. I was going to talk about my childhood, not in like the same way that normal people. I'm not going to get like sentimental or nostalgic or talk about my mother issues, although I mean that might come up at some point. I can't avoid it. I had so just to let you all know a little bit about myself. I was a weird child. I grew up mostly talking to my stuffed animals in my room. And I was pretty much raised by, like, my 2 parents' names were science fiction. And all of the lessons that I learned in life were related to science fiction. And over the course of my life, I found that, you know, this actually become more useful. I'm going to start with the basics of why it's kind of a messed up relationship to have to start your life with being exposed solely to science fiction as giving you expectations for what life is supposed to be like. So for one of my first favorite movies was The Terminator, and I subsequently realized throughout the course of like my dating and love life that I had a pattern of being being pursued by men who were like these giant emotionless monsters whose sole goal in life was just to destroy my entire existence. Does anybody Okay. Let me just do a little, okay. I've got to do a little bit of a litmus test here for the crowd. This is a kind of an original joke. Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jean-Claude Van Damme and Sylvester Stallone were asked to portray their favorite musical composers in a film. And Jean-Claude Van Damme said, well, I'll be Mozart. And Sylvester Stallone said, I'll be Beethoven. And Arnold Schwarzenegger said, I'll be Bach. Okay. All right, so that's the crowd we're dealing with. So, I'm going to continue on. So, if anybody is familiar with the plot of the Terminator, it's a giant cyborg monster that pursues Sarah Connor. And, giant, emotionless, narcissistic man who just wants to destroy her entire existence, which, again, kind of, like, just pretty much encapsulates my dating life and just dating in general. I think for a woman, I know this is mostly a male-dominated crowd, but maybe some of the women in the crowd can relate. And it really messes you up because a lot of people were messed up, like with their expectations that romantic comedies instilled in you. You know, we're supposed to have these like happy boy meet girl scenarios and happily ever after. With me, it was I'm waiting for the hero soldier from the future to come and rescue me, which has not yet happened, unfortunately. But it's really hard to let go of that because as a young girl growing up with fantasies of this soldier from the future who is, you know, from this dystopian future society who's going to come and rescue you from reality, it's like you have this expectation that this perfect guy is going to come and like travel across time and save you from everything. I mean, Kyle Reese, played by Michael Biehn, who is very close to my heart. I mean, if you're Sarah Connor in the context of the Terminator, Kyle Reese shows up as a soldier from the future, and he's the perfect boyfriend because he literally shows up and he has never even met you, but he's obsessed with you and he's completely in love with you after all of these years of just like never even met you before. So there's number one, like you're golden, you're in bed. Then he's accustomed to dealing with, like, all the women that he's accustomed to meeting are in this dystopian future, like, post-apocalyptic society, and they're all, like ragged and filthy and starved, and so there's really no competition. And his mother-in-law has been, like, blown to smithereens by, like, a futuristic landmine, so there's no difficulty of dealing with in-laws there. And he's accustomed to eating rats, so your cooking is going to be the best cooking he's ever had. Also, he's a virgin, so no STDs. And, you know, he dies shortly after the first time you consummate your relationship, so you're literally the best sex he's ever had in his life. And that's kind of that's like the boyfriend ideal, right? And meanwhile, and then in the end, he destroys the Terminator. So then you have the standard of this hero from the future, which, again, still waiting. However, there is a catch to all of this, and that's what happened when Terminator 2 came out. When Terminator 2 came out, it really messed up my expectations for my love life. Because Terminator 2 comes back, and then the original Terminator is suddenly like this like heroic dude who's like the perfect boyfriend because he'll do whatever you want him to do. He obeys your every command. He'll say whatever you want him to say, dress however you want him to dress, and he's like the perfect father, and he's like a machine in bed. So he's the best sex you ever had. So it's really So it really messes with your expectations of what is the world supposed to be like? What is dating supposed to be like? I don't understand. I was only 5 years old when I was exposed to this, and this is my expectations of romance and dating. The boy meets girl scenario. A lot of people have like the romantic movie, meet cute 1940s, whatever. Cary Grant meets whoever. Mine was Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Sarah Connor and the Terminator. Thank you, James Cameron, for maybe ruining my life. However, I think that in a certain sense, it actually prepared me for reality because, and here's this like true test of what science fiction actually is. A lot of people don't take science fiction seriously, but it really is an opportunity to take real world problems and solve them in a fantastical scenario and bring them back into reality again. So, in the world that we live in, I mean, come on, guys, we had Donald Trump as president. How much more science fiction does that get? Anyone? Anyone with me? So, where was I going with that? The premise of science fiction established for us is really based on a reality which we ourselves need to like embrace and understand in order to apply it metaphorically to our daily lives. I'm going to move on to Aliens, which is my all-time favorite movie. I mean, Aliens by James Cameron movie. If anyone doesn't know me, if you haven't spent more than 5 minutes in a room with me, you'll know that Aliens is my all-time favorite movie. I can quote it from beginning to end because I am a weird nerd, again, weird child who spent a lot of time in my room with stuffed animals, and my imaginary friend was the Terminator. It was actually really cool. He would like come out of a poster and like protect me and stuff. And he'd be like, your love life is terminated forever. But the whole Aliens fantasy is related to this whole male capitalistic institution of there's this giant creature that like wants to like chase you down and like forcibly like terrorize you and impregnate you and force you to give like violent birth, which is like the most terrifying thing you can possibly think of. Except we have the Republican Party. Should they chase you down and impregnate you anyway? Force you to give violent birth? This is not science fiction ground. So dating is difficult. I have like a lot of awkward experiences with dating. A lot of them relate to the science fiction discussion that I have. I actually had a first date not too long ago where I was going really well until the guy turned to me and he was like, I really like you, but just never speak Elvish on a first date. And I was like, alright, well, next time I'll speak Klingon. Sorry to offend you. Just don't do it. Don't over nerd. Don't go full nerd. You know how Zoolander is like, don't go full retard. Don't go full nerd on the first date because you can really alienate somebody. No pun intended. Paco's giving you the light right now. How am I going to end this? In the end, I think really science fiction actually prepared me for life because it is a metaphor for how to cope with reality, and in the end, it's a very useful skill to think of, to imagine yourself on alien planets. And I am just waiting for ET, like ET waiting for the mothership to come take me home. I haven't found the phone to phone home with yet, and it's frustrating for me. But I think that sooner or later, if I keep doing this, maybe one of these days they'll hear me. And this is where I'm supposed to have a beam. Where's my lighting crew? And there's supposed to be a beam of light. There's supposed to be a beam of light that's lifting me up to the air. All right, thank you, kind of.
Okay, wow, gave it 2 lights. Excellent, fantastic. Thanks, Hanna. Alrighty, guys, we did have another sign up, somebody who was in the audience. Tonight, she's going to be going last though, okay? So you do have 2 more comics to hang there through for, but please welcome to the stage right now, Mr. Trey Kun.
I'm pretty sure that's kind of racist what I just did because I don't speak Japanese, but I love anime. Okay. Paco's like, oh, sing on stage. And this Asian guy is like, don't sing on stage, man. Hey, I've been thinking about it though, because I like cartoons and everything, and then like I just found out that Courage the Cowardly Dog is doing a crossover with Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Team. Like, isn't that gonna be most exciting? Seeing two sentient dogs that are slaves to their owners. Like, if you had a sentient dog, anybody who has a dog here? I mean, I didn't know somebody got a dog out there, but oh, you can react with me, man. If you have a dog and if your dog can speak English, like you're like, hey, Sparky, how are you? And he's like, actually, my name is Joseph. Would you keep calling him Sparky or would you call him Joseph? Call him Joseph? If you ran around and did mysteries with him, would you feed him Scooby snacks or would you actually pay him money? Because if you just feed him Scooby snacks, that's slavery, man. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Scooby-Doo is a show about slavery, guys. Because this sentient dog, who actually comes from the Anunnaki tribe, based off of some actual canon. If you watch the Scooby-Doo movies, you find out Scooby-Doo is actually a sentient alien dog that is born here on Earth, meant to find Shaggy because Shaggy has this spiritual connection with him. And Shaggy feeds him dry dog food. Even when Shaggy eats dry human food, which is what I call cereal, he adds milk. Do you think Scooby wants some milk in his cereal? Thinking about it. This was a shower thought. And then it became a post thought that I was thinking about, like, you know, Juneteenth, slavery, everything that's coming up. Like, America has been the most beautiful fucking country to me. Like, regardless of our past, hey, niggas, hey, don't trip. But hey, I mean, I'm pretty sure my ancestors were like house slaves because I'm really good inside the house. But I don't even know where I'm going with this. I should have stuck with Scooby-Doo. Like, how come there's no black characters? No black characters. There's never black characters in any old cartoons either. And then when they try to reboot the cartoon, they make certain characters female or black or Hispanic. And then all the original fans get like salty about it. Like, I just watched this movie today and they turned Thomas Edison into a Chinese woman. He's not even laughing at that one. Hey, Thomas Edison. First of all, you should have had Nikola Tesla be a female. Because Nikola sounds like a female name. Tesla sounds like a female name. But if you're Latino, your name would be Nicolex Teslix. Because Latinos and, I don't know, fucking some albino joke and stuff too. Oh man, you stare hard, buddy. Can you name the characters on my shirt? Oh man, that was racist, I think. I had a little girl come up to me once. I was wearing a My Hero Academia shirt, and she named all 8 characters on my shirt, and I got offended by it because I'm supposed to be the weeaboo here, you know? Like, I get turned on by anime titties, but that's because I respect art, okay? Like, this motherfucker drew frame after frame just to get the fucking tits a good bounce. Like, I gotta appreciate that, and I think about taxation at the same time because I'm American. And can this guy go out to a strip club, anime artist who draws the fucking titties, right? Goes to a strip club, uses his company credit card to fucking pay for dances and everything, and it is a work payoff, right? Right? Like, I wish I drew more boobs as a kid, you know? It just sucked because every time I drew boobs, it resembled my mom's, and I was like, ah. It's like, why did you breastfeed me? You breastfed my brother, and he's a Republican now. That's not his fault. He married into it. My brother used to be cool, though. My brother used to do this thing where he would always try to scare me with like all these kinds of characters. Like, he had this character called Mr. Just Mr. He's very vague with his fucking names. Just Mr. Mister's gonna get you. I'm like, I'm scared of Mr. And my dad's like, what does Mr. look like? I was like, I don't know, but I don't want to see him. I mean, can you imagine being in a horror movie and you hear a ghost and you're like, oh shit, I'm out of here, and you leave? And then the next person comes in and goes like, oh, I hear a ghost. Let me go discover him. And that's how the white people die. Because black people, we aren't going to move into the house. Oh, no, we aren't. We will at first, but then we will let it become a trap house, you know? We'll get all the ghosts and everything all drugged up and high all the time. Just so that they don't want to fuck with us. It's like, yo, this new inhabitants are pretty cool. Yo, like, guess you can do when you smoke weed, we smoke a blunt, what happens? Smoke comes out. What are ghosts made out of? Smoke. Smoke? They're made of smoke. You've never seen a ghost physically in the plane, have you? Have you ever seen a ghost physically in the plane?
In the plane?
In the plane. Have you ever seen a ghost physically in the plane, man?
No.
You've never seen a ghost physically sitting here right now in front of you?
No.
What if I told you that I died 17 years ago?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, they brought me back to life, but I did die. Technically, I was dead for 35 seconds. Yeah. And ever since then, I've been chasing that high. Hey, guys. I did the non-dead ghost who never fucking bomb up here at all, Trey Cunning. Let's give it up for our special guest celebrity host, who I have no idea who he is. Oh, man. I just realized none of this got recorded. Sweet. Hey, there he is. Alright, boom.
Alright, Trey, thank you, bro. Oh, I forgot that this is always recorded. We're gonna need to change that. Oh my goodness, welcome. Thank you guys. I see some newcomers in here. Thanks for coming to the party. Alright guys, we got one more. Is this your first time, yes? First time ever trying stand-up comedy. Always an exciting time to see. Please give it up for your final comic of the evening, Miss Nadine.
Hello. My friends call me Cesspool. It's actually a running joke. I went to a comedy show and there was this guy that was like, anybody from New Jersey? That's Cesspool of a place. And Mike was like, this girl right here. It's evolved. I love them. But, so I came here to tell you about the time that I got arrested for not returning a library book. It's a real good story. So I rented this book when I was 17, and then my mom died, which is how every great story starts, right? And so they started sending mail warnings, recommendations that I return this book to my old house in New Jersey, and I didn't live there anymore. So about 6 years later, I'm like 23 at the time, I'm driving home from the Jersey Shore. My license is suspended because I'm having an ongoing dispute with a parking meter maid in the town that I work in. So I refused to pay my parking tickets. They suspended my license. I was like, fuck it, I won't drive anymore. I'm fine with that. My boyfriend at the time was driving my car 2 miles over the speed limit, and the cop stops us, and he's like, you're speeding excessively. And we're like, not really, but this is a fishing expedition. Let's see what you catch. So he's like, licenses, please. He takes his license, he takes my license, he runs it through the system, he comes back, and he's like, you have a warrant. Doesn't specify which one of us. And I'm like, oh, for the library book. And my boyfriend slaps me, and he's like, don't be an asshole right now, because there's weed next to my feet underneath like a sweatshirt. There's like a torch lighter in the back. The cop's like, what's this for? We're like smoking cigarettes on the beach. You're not allowed to smoke cigarettes on the beach. We admitted to a crime already right there. He didn't give two shits about it. And so, God, I'm a bad person.
Don't smoke weed.
Literally, right? That's why I quit. That's why I quit.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's like, no, it's for her. So he like radios, and the lady on the dispatch line is like, stolen property, Bergenfield Library. And I was like, Agent what? And the cop is laughing at me. I can hear the girl on the dispatch line giggling, and then she's like, well, you gotta take her in. And he's like, how much is the bond? And the guy's like, well, she's like, it's $100. So they gave me an option. If I had $100 cash on me, I could just go and pay it right there. But if I had to pay for like with a credit card, I had to wait for the judge on Monday, and it was like a Friday night. And I was like, I think I have $100. I'm like pulling change out of the dashboard, and I'm like, cause you know, I'm a little white girl, so I've got like little white girl privilege. I'm like, are there gonna be handcuffs involved? And he's like, No, it's not that serious. I didn't even know we arrested people for this shit. I was like, oh, this is great. So my boyfriend drives my car to the police station. I get out. I was in the middle of changing between like the beach and like driving home. So I didn't have like a bra on at the time. I was wearing like a skirt, no bottoms, and I'm like, bitch, I'm half naked in the police station right now, and everybody's staring at me. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. And like the other thing is like there was drugs in my car, so I didn't want to like move around a lot to get them like suspicious. So I'm like, fuck it, let's just gonna see how this goes. So I walk in, and the dispatch lady who was like on the little radio laughing at me as soon as she sees my face. She's like, this girl's not a hardened criminal. There's like people doing paperwork, like, you're the library book girl? Aw, that sucks to be you. There was like an actual guy who stole a car that was there. It's like his mugshot got taken, then my mugshot got taken. We're both getting fingerprinted. He's like, what are you in here for? I was like, a library book. I was like, what are you in here for? He's like, Grand Theft Auto. I was like, wow, man, one of us is getting out early, huh? The best part about this, they take my $100. I get a court date. I don't even have to see the judge. They make me wait for like 2 hours for the librarian to come in. I pay her $15 for a book. I leave. 6 months later, they mail me my $100 back. But I went on Amazon to see how cheap I could buy this book for to like replace it for them. They charged me $15 to buy it online. It was like $27. I was like, you didn't even charge me market value for it. I'm gonna start stealing library books more often. It's way cheaper. I don't have to pay shipping. And then, well, so that was the end of that. And so there's a lot of things in my life that I do just for the experience, hence the me standing on stage doing stand-up comedy for the first time. And so during the pandemic, I was trying to buy a house with my brother, and so we were both employed, and then he lost his job because he worked in an auto body dealership, and I worked construction, so I kept mine for a little bit longer, until I wound up working at 2 places that the National Guard got called into because there were like COVID hotspots. Teaneck, New Jersey, New Rochelle, New York. So my boss is like, Nadine, you can't go to work. And I was like, well, fuck. My broker told me I needed a job. So I called my friend and I was bitching. I'm like, 11 o'clock on a Friday night. And he's like, well, all my employees quit on me if you want to go to Texas. And I was like, fuck, I'll go to Texas. And that started a whirlwind 30-state road trip for like 6 weeks. And I gotta say, the most fun time I had was getting locked out of my Airbnb at like 3 o'clock in the morning in Minnesota. It was like 11 degrees out and nobody was answering the phone. It was real bad. I thought I was gonna die in a parking lot, just freeze to death, and that's how they were gonna find me. And then it got worse, because like 6 o'clock in the morning, they like opened the door for me and I like went in, I took a shower, and then I drove to North Dakota later that day. And I looked at my dashboard and it was 11 degrees outside. And keep in mind, I had flown to Texas thinking that I was going to go to Texas and I was going to go back home. But instead, I packed a sweatshirt, like 2 pairs of shorts, a pair of jeans, and everything was closed. Like, you couldn't go to Walmart. You couldn't go, like, there are a lot of places in America don't even have Walmarts. There's a lot of America that's just like good old-fashioned fucking nothing. And, so I went on Tinder, where all good people go to find resources. And I was like, guys, it's a pandemonium outside. I'm not really trying to make friends, but if you've got some extra sweatshirts that you're not using, maybe some pants. Also, any recommendations on where I can buy food, I would really appreciate that. Because everybody had panic bought all of the frozen foods and all of the canned foods that had like nutritional value. So I was left with like Pop-Tarts on the shelf. And I was living out of hotel rooms where I didn't have like a stove or an oven, so I couldn't even make like pizza. And I don't know how to use a microwave, so that's kind of embarrassing. Blow dryer either. Not really very good at being an adult. But yeah, so I was in the middle of nowhere, and I got sent to North Dakota, and I was complaining to my brother. It was 11 degrees, and I was like, dude, call me fucking Karen. I want to speak to the manager. It's fucking April. We'll let it be this cold outside. And I pull up to the store, and the person that answers the door is wearing a kilt, and I look at him dead in the eyes, because I am so fucking tired at this point, and I'm like, I picked the wrong manager to complain to, and he was like, what are you talking about? So I pulled up my Snapchat, and it was just me bitching about how cold it was. And he's like, yeah, we don't wear pants here. It's kilts or nothing. There's 4 guys working in this store. 3 of them were wearing kilts. 1 was in cargo shorts because his kilt was at the dry cleaner. And yeah, so there was a lot of good experiences. I met a guy who sold me the best weed I ever smoked in my entire life. He dropped it off at Home Depot, Minnesota. Shout out to Sean if you're like watching, because you're probably not. And the funny part about this guy, he doesn't smoke weed, he just grows it. Yeah, recovering heroin addict, needed a hobby, started growing weed. Keeps him sober, so it keeps him going, but at the end of the day, like, you know, I was always told weed was a gateway drug, but I gotta say, it's really a gateway for people to get out of the game. And with that, I think I'm gonna turn it back over to Nadine.
Wow! Girl, good job. Oh my goodness. She fucking crushed that whole set, dog. She was up there talking. How did that feel? Did you feel comfortable?
I like to monologue, so it turns out I'm comfortable.
And what do you think? Are you coming back? Is this the start of a new obsession for you? Is this a one and done?
I don't know, like, was it good? Should I come back?
We'll see how you feel when you wake up tomorrow. Watch the video, and see how it
I
feels.
had fun. Were you guys disappointed?
Oh no, everyone was very impressed.
Not bad.
We encourage you to. Great job, Nadine. Okay, guys, please again for Nadine, for yourself, and just to close out the show, and thank you all for coming. Here once again is the man of the night, Mr. Paco Loco.
Yeah, y'all, that's Kenny, y'all. What's your name?
Nadine.
Nadine, that was so amazing. Like, I've never experienced none of that shit you was talking about. That was like Princess of Narnia, like, type shit to me. Like, that was fantasy. Like, she was telling me all her Karen problems and shit. Like, how the cops fuck with you and let you go. Like, that does not happen to me. No, I do not look innocent. As soon as you see me, like, yeah, he smokes weed. Like, oh, he has weed. Fuck. I have none of that. She was like, she wanted to speak to the manager because it was cold outside. Like, you better pray to God. That's why it's cold outside. Like, shit, like, damn, like, that does not happen. You know what? You know what my interactions with police? Stick 'em up! Like, oh shit, like, oh, I am an artist. Damn it, like, fuck. It really happened. Like, I used to be famous. Like, I work in radio, I work in TV, I MC all kind of events all the time. You know what I'm famous for now? Being an Uber driver. Damn! Like, yo, every time, like, before, like, hey, I saw you. Like, now it's like, my Uber driver. Like, wow, shit. It's crazy, y'all. Like, I'm nowadays, like, anybody got anxiety problems? Yo, believe it or not, I got anxiety problems. Like, I be up all night worried about shit. Because I smoke the good weed. And when you smoke the good weed, like, you start thinking this shit, like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Like, you be up all night, like. So lately I've been taking the pills to go to sleep, melatonin. I try to, like, they say it's herbal, like it's natural. Yo, take the recommended dosage. Like, yo, you know what happens when you take too much melatonin? Nightmares. Like, these shits is nightmare pills. Like, whoa, like just the other day, like I be having visions, like, you know those dreams that change your whole life. Like when you wake up from a nightmare, you so appreciative of shit. You know what I mean? You wake up from a badass nightmare. Like I had a nightmare where I was with a white girl in a hotel, right? And a race riot broke out. Like, oh shit. So it's like everybody fighting and shit. I'm like, I'm gonna protect you, girl. I got you. Like, I got you. I'm sitting there like fighting off. And then while we sitting there, you know what happens? An alien invasion. Multiple, like, oh. I saw my friend like, boof, just exploding. Like, oh. When you wake up from something like that, you just like, thank you. Oh my God, I saw you die. Like, oh my God, thank you. Oh my God, like, but if you wake up from a dream, you don't appreciate shit. You know what I mean? You ever wake up from, like, you be disappointed, you wake up mad, like, fuck. I'm doing King's Pizza, like, in my dream, I'm like, I'm doing comedy in stadiums. Like, I got that big fame, like the Justin Bieber shit. Like, I look outside, girls scream, like, ah! Like, I had a dream I had that kind of fame. Then I wake up from that shit like, fuck, I'm still here. Like, shit, damn. Now I'm doing all kind of crazy shit just to chase my dreams. Like, I be working out and shit. Like, I don't even eat carbs no more because in my dream I had a six-pack. So I don't, doing stand-up comedy now. It's crazy, man. These damn dreams are nightmares, man. For real.
Why are you wearing a backpack?
Why I wear a backpack? Why you ain't wearing a backpack? The aliens are coming, son. Like, this is my go bag. I ain't ready to bounce at any moment. I got this bitch full of spam and that's it. Like spam and water. Shit.
Paco.
I mean, I'm saying this. I got a sports show. Y'all already know I got a sports show. Comes on every Friday and Saturday. So I'll be listening to a lot of sports. And y'all know that one of the weightlifters in America got kicked off the Olympic team because she was protesting. I'm gonna let you know, like, protesting in sports during the Olympic trials, that is not the place to be protesting. I love this country. This 4th of July, right? No, look at y'all fucking commies. Like, no. No, but for real, that's not the place to be protesting on a stage like during Olympic trials. No. You wait till the Olympics. Know what I mean? You wait till the big stuff, not the trials. Nobody's watching the trials. Like, no, like, you don't cover your face in the trials. Like, you wait till the Olympics, you wait till you right there on stage, put the fist up, bam, baby, people take pictures, you viral now. Like, you gonna be on posted, but no, she done fucked it up too early. Like, too early, you gotta wait.
Gotta hang the flag upside down.
Gotta hang the flag upside down? Yeah, we are a nation at this dress. They got us all separated, like, it's crazy. I was saying, like, we gotta come together, man. The aliens are fucking coming, like. It's like they be just stuff flying all around, like, for real, like, I'm scared, like, I'm scared. I'm scared because I'm scared of butt stuff. I'm scared they're gonna do butt stuff to us. Like, you heard the stories. I ain't making this up. Well, meanwhile, I try to be an entertainer, though. Like, I MC a lot of events and I DJ, like I said. I don't even like the music I play anymore. No, I love hip-hop music. I love hip-hop, but hip-hop going in a direction, I'm like, yo, what's going on? I don't know, like, I'm starting to like country music. It's fucked up. I'm from the hood, like country music. You know I like country music? Because, like, they tell stories that hip-hop used to tell. Talk about heartbreak. They talk about, I've had my heart broken. I like whiskey. Know what I mean? Back in the day, hip-hop used to tell stories like that. Like, this one song from my childhood went like this. Listen, kid, you can sing along if you know the words. Who the fuck is this? Paging me at 5:46 in the morning. Crack of dawning, now I'm yawning. Wipe the cold out my eyes to see who's this paging me and why. It's my man Pac from the barbershop. Told me he was in the gambling spot. Heard the intricate plot. People want to stick me like fly paper. Are y'all listening? This is writing. Like, it's a characters, it's character development, a setting, an antagonist, a pro. Yo, this is some good shit. Now, you know what hip-hop today goes like this. It's one of the top songs a couple years ago. Go like this. Gucci gang, 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 Gucci gang. Gucci gang. That's line one. Let me get line two real quick. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Like, what the hell? Like, oh. I don't know. You know what's the #1 song people be requesting? It's a song called Baby Shark. If you live with a kid, you know what this song. Sing along if you know the words, kid. Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do. Like, yo, all the time, like, yo, like, look, the kids know, they know it by, they be in the crib singing along, got a little dance to it. Like, damn, how do you know? Like, ladies, right now, if your stomach was hurting when I sung that song, you're pregnant. Yeah, sorry to break the news. That's the fetus doing a baby shark dance inside. I'm really weird because I have a lot of weird beliefs. Like, I grew up in a haunted house. Anybody ever grew up in a haunted house? Yo, like, it's crazy. Everything they taught you is real is a lie. Everything they said don't exist is real. Like, there's really UFOs. There's really ghosts. I grew up in a haunted house. It was so spooky. Like, we be at home chilling, me and my brothers. All of a sudden, the electricity goes off. Like,
you want to try? I'll go with you.
It gets real cold in the room, like, yo, you can see your breath. You can see your breath, like, yo. And back then, we just saw The Exorcist, so we thought everything was the devil. Like, we was like, no, that's Satan. Like, oh, no. Like, our house was haunted. Then, not only you see that, all of a sudden you hear, ooh, ooh, like, yo,